Xiaomi recently launched the Redmi 5 in India to once again disrupt the budget segment. The new Redmi phone has compelling features including a thin bezel display and a selfie flash. Also, there is a metal build that comes in multiple color options to persuade customers looking for an attractive option for as low as 7,999 Indian rupees, or that is roughly $120. But the Redmi 5 is not just making the competition tougher for offerings by other smartphone vendors, it also rivals the Redmi Note 5. Xiaomi also has the Redmi 5A, that is a toned down version of the Redmi 5. For an even faster experience, the Redmi lineup has the Redmi Note 5 Pro that comes in 4GB and 6GB of RAM options. Welcome back to QatNip, and today we take a look at the Redmi 5 prices and specifications and compare them with those of the Redmi Note 5, Note 5 Pro and 5A to help you pick the best option. So come on, let's learn together. Beginning with the price, the Xiaomi Redmi 5 in India starts at 7,999 rupees, or that is roughly $120 for the 2GB and 16GB storage variant, while its 3GB and 32GB storage alternative is available at 8,999 rupees, or that is $140, and the 4GB and 64GB option is priced at 10,999 rupees, or $170. Xiaomi launched the Redmi Note 5 last month at a price of 9,999 rupees, or $150 for the 3GB RAM and 32GB of onboard storage variant, and goes up to 11,999 rupees, or $185 for the 4GB RAM and 64GB of onboard storage option. The Redmi Note 5 Pro price, on the other hand, starts at 13,999 rupees, or $215 for the 4GB RAM and 64GB of storage option, while its 6GB RAM counterpart is available at 16,999 rupees, or $260. In contrast, the Redmi 5A was launched in November last year with a price tag of 5,999 rupees, or $90 for the 2GB RAM and 16GB of storage version. The Redmi 5A, 3GB and 32GB on the other side is available at 6,999 rupees, or $110. The stock of first 5 million Redmi 5A units of the 2GB RAM variant were on sale with a 1,000 rupees or $15 discount that was discontinued earlier this week. Now coming to the specifications, the dual nano SIM Redmi 5 runs MIUI 9 and features a 5.7-inch HD+, that is 720x1440 pixel resolution display with an 18:9 aspect ratio and 450 nit peak brightness of the screen. Under the hood, there is an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 450 SoC clocked up to 1.8 GHz paired with an Adreno 506 GPU and 2GB or 3GB or 4GB of RAM options. The smartphone has a 12-megapixel rear camera with an f/2.2 aperture, face detection autofocus, high dynamic ranging and LED flash. On the front, there is a 5-megapixel camera with an LED selfie flash as well, along with face recognition technology offered by Android and powered by MIUI. Xiaomi has provided 16GB, 32GB and 64GB of onboard storage on the Redmi 5 that is expandable via a microSD card. The smartphone has standard connectivity options including 4G VoLTE, Wi-Fi, 802.11 BGN connectivity, Bluetooth 4.2, GPS with AGPS, Baidu and GLONASS support, micro USB and a 3.5mm audio jack as well. Sensors on board include an accelerometer, ambient light sensor, gyroscope and proximity sensor. The handset packs a 3300 mAh battery and measures 151.8 x 72.8 x 7.7mm. Contrary to the Redmi 5, the MIUI 9 based Redmi Note 5 has a 5.99-inch Full HD+, that is 1080x2160 pixel resolution display and is powered by a 2 GHz octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 SoC coupled with 3GB or 4GB of RAM options to choose from. The smartphone has a 12-megapixel rear camera and a 5-megapixel front-facing camera. In terms of storage, there are 32GB and 64GB of internal storage options to choose from, and both are expandable via a microSD card. The Redmi Note 5 has all the standard connectivity options, including the 3.5mm headphone jack and a micro USB port instead of a Type-C, but it packs a larger 4000 mAh battery that supports 5V and 2A fast charging and measures 158.5 x 75.45 x 8.05mm. Similar to the Redmi Note 5, the dual SIM Redmi Note 5 Pro runs Android Nougat based MIUI 9 and features a 5.99-inch Full HD Plus display with an 18:9 aspect ratio and 450 nits of peak brightness of the screen. However, there is an octa-core Snapdragon 836 processor that is clocked at 1.8 GHz, coupled with 4 GB or 6 GB of RAM options to choose from. The smartphone has a dual rear camera setup with a 12 megapixel primary image sensor that has a standard f/2.2 aperture and a 5 megapixel secondary sensor with a larger f/2.0 aperture for better detail preservation in low light conditions. On the front, the Redmi Note 5 Pro has a 20 megapixel Sony IMX376 sensor accompanied by a selfie flash to give you superior selfie qualities. Redmi Note 5 Pro has 64 GB of onboard storage that is expandable via a microSD card in a hybrid dual SIM format. On the connectivity front, all the options remain standard, along with the 3.5mm headphone jack and a micro USB port instead of the USB Type-C. The smartphone packs the same 4000 mAh battery and measures 158.6 x 75.4 x 8.05mm. Unlike the Redmi Note 5 Pro, the dual nano SIM Redmi 5A runs MIUI 9 and sports a 5-inch HD that is 720 x 1280 pixel resolution display, and the smartphone has a quad-core Snapdragon 425 SoC clocked at 1.4 GHz paired with 2 GB or 3 GB of RAM options to choose from. The smartphone has a 13 megapixel rear camera with a standard f/2.2 aperture coupled with an LED flash and face detection autofocus. There is a 5 megapixel shooter available up front with a larger f/2.0 aperture. The Redmi 5A has 16 GB and 32 GB of storage options, which are both expandable via a microSD card with a dedicated card slot this time instead. For connectivity, the options remain the same, along with the micro USB instead of the Type-C and the 3.5mm headphone jack still present, along with an infrared blaster to control devices in your household. But the handset is powered by a relatively smaller 3000 mAh battery and measures 140.4 x 70.1 x 8.35mm. So that's it for now, and we hope you liked the video. A million thanks to our dear subscriber family for your continuous love and support, and until next time, stay tuned for more.